Merci. Conformément à la tradition, je vais faire mon propos liminaire en français. Donc tout d'abord, je remercie les organisateurs pour l'idée de cette conférence. C'est une excellente idée. Et c'est peu de dire que le séminaire Chevalet a beaucoup influencé sur les mathématiques que j'ai faites depuis. Juste, je me rappelle des premiers exposés que j'ai vus. Je pense que le premier exposé, c'est Gunther, justement, qui parlait de l'engendrement des groupes finis simples par trois involutions. Tu as dû faire ça. Et oui, c'était il y a longtemps. Voilà, ça devait être au début 92. Et puis c'était une époque où il y avait beaucoup de théories de Deligne-Lustig. Qu'est-ce qu'il y avait C'était le début des blocs génériques. Et ça, en fait, cette année-là, 92-93, s'est terminée par la conférence de Spetses, pendant laquelle finalement il est devenu à peu près clair que les groupes de réflexion complexes méritaient d'être étudiés beaucoup plus qu'ils ne l'étaient jusque-là. Well, so now let's switch again to something which is not really English, maybe more globish. So it was already mentioned in Ivan Marin's talk that if we are interested in the representation theory of finite reductive groups, it's really important to try to generalize all what you can do for Cox-Excel groups, to try to generalize it for complex reflection group. So this talk is we'll try to generalize what Lustig called the constructible characters for real reflection groups. So it is a joint work with Raphael. And the setup is, as usual, the following. We start with V, a complex vector space. W is a finite subgroup of the linear group of V. We define the set of reflection of W as a set of elements in W such that the codimension of Vs, the fixed point, is equal to 1. And the hypothesis all along this talk is that W is generated by its reflections. And I will add some more notation. I will denote by epsilon the determinant for a real reflection group. This is a sign character. I will need some other map, a map C of, well, we can see as a parameter map that goes from the set of reflections to C, and this is up to conjugacy. Well, finally, I will need also a last notation, is that if chi is an irreducible character of W, I denote by B chi what is called the B invariant, which is the minimum of the set of all I, such that chi occurs in the I symmetric power of V, viewed as a representation of W, or this can be seen as the symmetric power can be seen as algebra of functions on the dual, and I take the I irreducible component, and such there is always such an I such that this scalar product is non-zero, and I take the minimal one. B chi is the B invariant. Of course. Okay, so I'm going to start with the real reflection groups. So this is the case where V is a scalar extension. So just in this section, we assume that V is a scalar extension of a real vector space which is stable under the action of W. So in this case, W is a Coxeter group. And in this setup, Lustig has defined a class of characters that he calls them the constructible ones, so we call them the L constructible, L for Lustig. By an inductive process. So it starts with the trivial group and built using a tool called the J induction. So they are defined inductively. Using the J induction. And I will denote by const L of W the set of L constructible characters. It must be said that it depends heavily on C, and in fact, here I forgotten to say that I assume that CS is not only a complex number, but it is a real number which is greater than or equal to 0. I think that's what I want with Raphael. We would like to generalize, but in fact, we don't follow Lustig construction, so you don't need to know what is this construction, because we will propose a construction which is completely different, and we can only say that it is conjectural that this generalized Lustig's one. So what? So I didn't define them, but I can also define what are the families using now the constructible characters. So we can define a graph. G of W, such that the vertices are the irreducible characters of W, and the edges, two irreducible characters, are linked by an edge, if and only if there exists a constructible character, a Lustig constructible character, such that both chi and chi prime occur in gamma with non-zero multiplicity. So with this definition, you build a graph, and the connected components are called the Lustig families. Well, L families. Gamma is a constructible character of W that I didn't define. Okay? Well, so if we want to propose something that generalizes this, at least we should try to fix some properties that the generalization must satisfy. So I will give a list of properties of these families and of these constructible characters that we will try to get for the other definition I will give later. So the theorem is the following. So maybe I should start with, maybe not a theorem, but a proposition. Is that if gamma is a constructible character, then gamma epsilon is also a constructible character. The tensor with the sign character. And B, this is an immediate consequence, is that if F is an L family, then so is f times epsilon. This is a direct consequence, and the proof is just immediate from the definition that I didn't give. Well, so now let's come to much more difficult theorem. First of all, these constructible characters, it's even unclear that all irreducible characters of W occur in the constructible characters. From the definition, it's really unclear. Really, Michel, I can't believe me, it's really unclear. But it turns out that you can express the regular character of W as a linear combination of constructible characters. That's a fact. The second is that every family contains a unique character element with minimal Bayesian variant. Similarly, every constructible character, L constructible character, contains an irreducible component with minimal Bayesian variant. And the multiplicity is 1. And the last, no, not last, just before the last, is that the map that sends chi to the sum over all the reflections S of CS chi of S over chi of 1 is constant on families. And last but not least, is that if F is a family, is an L family, which is a singleton, then there is only one constructible character associated to this family. This is just the irreducible character chi itself. There is no multiplicity. Yes? No. No. Yes. I will give some comment. Yes, okay. Okay. So some reference. We'll make some comment. Okay. Okay, so for the proof, this is due to Lustig for 90%, I would say. Maybe more. Okay? Because what? Because, in fact, he computed in all cases, all groups, and all values of the parameters, all the constructible characters. And by a case-by-case analysis, one can deduce this. He deduced this and this in the equal parameter case. And so for B and C, I extended I extended this result to the unequal parameter case, but again, 90% of the work is lustig. When you have the list, it becomes easier to check case by case. Okay, so that's really what I want to say. And about D, so again, from the definition, it's not so clear that the Lustig's little a function is constant on family, but it turns out to be true. There is also Lustig's capital A function, which is constant on families. And this is up to some normalization. This is little a plus capital A. Okay, the little a plus capital A function. I will write this. And the fact that this is equal to little a plus capital A, this is due to Brouet, Maleux, and Michel. Okay, that's their contribution to this part. Well, so what about E? E is really lustig 100%. Okay, you look at the list, and that's like this. Okay, this is all for the real case. Okay, so what I would like to explain is that I will try to build a family of constructible characters for all complex reflection groups. They will be built in a completely different way, but they will fit all these properties. Well, so let's start. Okay, so let's be back to complex reflection group. Well, so in this, for complex reflection group, there is you can't generalize the so-called ecoalgebra. This was mainly explained in Ivan's talk. There are some for Weyl groups, you have some affinization of this ecoalgebra, but this does not exist for complex reflection group. But there are some degeneration which exist, and the final step when you affinize twice and degenerate twice is the so-called Cherenkov algebra that I will try to define briefly. So we define the following algebra HC, which is equal as a vector space. As a vector space, this is just the tensor product of the function on V with the group algebra of W and the function and the algebra of functions on the dual of V, yes. And both these three guys are subalgebras. The multiplication inside this part is given as you imagine, W acts on C of V, so this is isomorphic to the semi-direct product of W and C of V. This guy is isomorphic to the semi-direct product of W and C of V star. But there is an interesting relation coming from what happens when you multiply an element, when you commute an element here and an element here. So if Y is an element of V and X is an element of V star, then the commutator is given by the sum for S reflection of CS, depending on the convention. You can decide to add or not this factor, but that's what I'm going to do. I add it. So Y alpha S Czech X over alpha S Czech alpha S. So if you take an element in V, you can view it as a function on V star, and an element of V star, you can view it as a function on V. And alpha S is, let's say, the unique element of V star with a non-trivial eigenvalue for S. Alpha S Czech is the same in V, and so on. And this is the pairing. And you must add some S, which is an element in the algebra in the middle. So if you commute two elements of degree 1 of this algebra and this one, you obtain something which lives in the middle algebra. And the multiplication is completely determined by these rules. The fact that this subalgebra is isomorphic to this subalgebra is isomorphic to this, and this commutation relation. The structure of the algebra is completely determined by these properties. And so this is an infinite dimensional algebra, but it is an infinite dimensional algebra which has a very large center. So I will denote by ZC. This is the center of HC, which is contained in HC. And inside, there is a subalgebra that I will call P, which is exactly the algebra generated by the invariant function on C of V and the invariant function on V star. If you have a look at this formula, if Y is an element which is invariant under all the reflection, under all the value group, then you get here 0. So you see that these guys commute, and it will also commute with W. Well, but in general, there are no vectors which are invariant under W, but not so many invariant vectors. But if you switch to invariant functions, then the same results still hold. Okay. Well, so this gives a large subalgebra, and I will see this algebra as the algebra of function on this variety. And this algebra is well known to be by Shepard-Todd-Chevalet theorem, a polynomial algebra, a polynomial in the number of variables equal to the dimension of V, similarly for here. And it is a fact that this guy is P3 of rank the order of W, and this guy is P3 of rank the cube of the order of W. For the cube, the reason is the following. If you view this algebra as a module for this algebra, then it is free with rank cardinality of W, because again of Shepard-Todd and Chevalet theorem. This one adds some more W, and this guy viewed as a module over this is again free as with the basis given free of rank cardinality of W. So at the end you end up with this cube of the cardinality of W, the order of W. Yes. 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 Well, so yes. Yes, heavily. If you put all the C's equal to 0, then you just obtain the semi-direct product of W with this the functional algebra on V cross V star. Okay, so now I have a very nice algebra which is free over some reasonably nice guy, a polynomial algebra. So each time now I have a specialization of this algebra P, I will get a finite dimensional algebra, which is a specialization of HC. So if P is a prime ideal of P, I will denote by C of P the fraction field of P over P, and the algebra that I will denote by CPHC, which is just the scalar extension to C of P of my algebra HC, becomes a finite dimensional C of P algebra. That this algebra, it's again a finite dimensional C of P algebra. This field can be complicated, but at least this algebra is finitely dimensional over this field, where the dimension is the order of W to the cube. Okay, and it becomes interesting to study the representation theory of this finite dimensional algebra viewed as an algebra over this field of fraction. Well, so in this talk I will be mainly interested in two cases. So the first case is a prime ideal that I will denote by P bar, which is the ideal defined by the set of functions in P. So I have said that I view P as the algebra of function on V on this quotient, which vanishes at the point 0, 0. So in other words, this is a maximal ideal, and this is a maximal ideal corresponding to the point 0, 0 in this variety. So in this case, C of P bar is just P over P bar is just C. And so my algebra HC bar is a finite dimensional C algebra of dimension, again, the cube of the order of W. But as a vector space, what it is? Well, this reduction in some way is compatible with the tensor product decomposition. If you look at term by term, if you look at C of V and you killed the polynomials which are of positive degrees and invariant under W, you end up with a co-invariant algebra, so-called co-invariant algebra, tensored with C of W, tensored with C of V star, the co-invariant algebra in the dual. That's, again, this is a vector space description of my finite dimensional algebra. Once I have this, I can define for every irreducible character of W, I can define M bar of chi, the following module. As a module, I induced I will construct a module for this subalgebra by letting W act as it must act on the representation associated with chi. And this guy is just a local algebra. It is nilpotent. It is a finite dimensional, positively graded, non-negatively graded algebra. So there is the quotient of this algebra by its radical is just the field C. So I make this algebra acting by, let's say, the evaluation at 0, if you prefer, or I let just the 0 component act and the rest act by 0. So I get like this, E chi is the representation of CW, this is the representation associated with chi, and I extend it to this algebra by letting the nilpotent elements of this guy acting by 0, that's all. And it turns out that it is very easy to prove that there is a unique simple quotient and we can define the family well, there is a unique simple quotient, and this gives a parametrization of the irreducible characters of my finite dimensional algebra by the irreducible characters of W. This is a standard fact for algebras with such a triangular decomposition. And so the definition is that a Calogero-Moser family, CM family, is a block of HC bar viewed as a subset of the set of irreducible characters of W. Why Calogero-Moser? This is the name for the spectrum of ZC. This is a finitely generated C algebra. There is an associated variety which is called the Calogero-Moser space. Well, so Calogero-Moser family, this is just, in this setting, a block for this really finite dimensional algebra. What about the following prime ideal? If I consider the function which vanishes not at 0, 0, but at the subvariety V cross W, V over W cross 0. This is a prime ideal which is associated to this. A prime ideal is associated to a closed subvariety. The closed subvariety here is V over W. So the irreducible closed subvariety is V over W cross 0. And I consider the associated prime ideal. And now in this case, C of P left, this is just the function field on this variety, which is the invariant field of C of V. So I have my algebra HC left, which is equal to C of P left tensor C of P left HC. And as a vector space, again, as a vector space, here I have killed one side and not killed the other side. So finally, it remains the following vector space. The field of fraction of V, the group algebra of W, and the co-invariant algebra of the dual. This is my algebra HC left. And you see that again, you have the same subalgebra inside this big algebra. This algebra is, as a C algebra, is infinite dimensional, but as an algebra over this field, it is finite dimensional. But it has still the same subalgebra, so I can still apply the same construction and define a module M left of chi, which will be some module for this this algebra. But now there is no longer such a property, but it can be interesting to understand how this algebra, how this module splits well, the multiplicity of simple modules in a composition series of such a module. Why not? So if L is an irreducible module of HC left, of my finite dimensional algebra HC left, an irreducible module, I can have a look at the multiplicity M left of chi L. Okay. And so this would give me some kind of decomposition matrix. But instead of looking at how this guy decomposes into simple modules, I will transpose the matrix and define gamma L to be the sum over all chi's of this guy times chi. Okay? And these are my CM constructible characters definition. Gamma L, the set of gamma L's is a set of CM constructible characters. This is the definition. Well, so that's the definition. You could protest. Why such a definition? But the first thing I would like to mention is that, well, with Lustig families, it is clear that if you take constructible characters, all its reducible components which will lie in the same Lustig family because of the definition. Okay? Here it's no longer true. Even if the reduction, if you can take reduction modulo p bar of this module, you get this module. It might happen that a simple module here lives in several blocks. The reduction modulo p bar of the simple module here lives in several blocks. Why? It's because I didn't mention this fact, but this algebra is far from being split, very far from being split. And when you are in the non-split case, simple modules, the reduction modulo and prime ideal of a simple modules can split into different blocks. Think about a monic polynomial over Z, which is irreducible over Q. But when you reduce modulo P, it can have some roots. That's just this, okay? So that's really the fact that it is non-split implies that what is completely trivial for Lustig families is not completely trivial. But it's not completely trivial, but it is easy, okay? So that's a fact. And I will come back later to this fact, is that all the irreducible component of CM constructible are in the same family. In the same CM family. And there is a natural question, is that can we obtain the CM families by building the graph linking all irreducible characters through the CM constructibles? This I have no idea. Okay, so once we define the families in this way and the constructible characters in this way, all these facts become true. Well, so the proposition now change. So here I have to put a CM. Then if I tensorize with the epsilon, I get also constructible characters. But there is some hypothesis. I need that S square is equal to 1 for all reflections. So I need that the group is generated by reflection of order 2. This fact is no longer true in the general case. But, well, for Coxeter groups, that's it, okay? So here, again, this is true. And the proof is not immediate from the definition, but it's not so difficult. If you look at the definition of the Schernik algebra HC, in fact, you can build an isomorphism of vector space using the tensor product decomposition by taking the identity on C of V, taking the automorphism induced by epsilon on the group algebra of W, take the minus the identity on C of V star. So this is an isomorphism of the vector space HC, and it turns out that the relation is stable under this automorphism, or in other words, that this is an automorphism of algebra. And now it's pretty easy to see that it sends the m left of chi to m left of chi epsilon, and the result follows easily from this. Also, this automorphism stabilizes the center, of course. The subalgebra P, it stabilizes the ideals p bar and p left. So okay, once you have this fact, this proposition becomes obvious. Now the theorem here, so this is no longer Lustig. This is Raphael and myself, and this is 100%. And just a remark is that I'm not going to give the proof of all the statements, but at least of maybe one, or a sketch of the proof, that A, B, C, and D are the proof of A, B, C, and D is algebraic, purely algebraic. And the proof of E is really geometric. But what? But what I think we like quite a lot in this theory is that the proof here does not rely on any computation. This is just a general proof. So there is strictly no case-by-case analysis here in this case. Okay, for all these statements. Yes. Yes, here you can prove but not compute. It's very difficult to compute. Well, so at this stage, you are not surprised if we conjecture that Lustig equals Calogero-Moser. Okay, if W is a Coxeter group, if W is real, and CS is a non-negative real number. Okay, so all these facts are evidences for this conjecture, and the corollary of this theorem and of some other computations is that there are some known cases. First, the case of dihedral group. It's not so easy, but it's doable. I must mention, to be honest, is that the conjecture that the Lustig families and the Calogero-Moser families coincide is due, I should write the name, to Gordon and Martineau. No, they don't have a proof. Oh. So the conjecture is due to Gordon Martineau for families and to Raphael and myself for constructible characters. So that's L equals CM. Well, so the dihedral groups, that's okay. The family part was proved by Bellamy. But the constructible part was done by us. Well, for W is equal to Sn, or W is a Weyl group of type Bn in the following cases. So B, A, and I assume that AB times B minus A times B minus 2A times B minus N minus 1A is different from 0. So this is, in some sense, a generic case. And this follows from this last fact, because these are the cases where the families are trivial. All the families are singleton. Well, maybe I should mention that this is almost true for H3, H4 and F4, thanks to some computation that we did with Ulrich Thiel, but I should be very, well, this is almost true, okay? I would need some more time to explain what do I mean by this. Okay, well, so what I would like to explain is a little bit a sketch of the proof of the last statement, the proof of the, of the fact that in a trivial Lustig family you have only trivial constructible characters. Well, so as I have said, this proof is really completely geometric. And how does it start? It starts with this, just this embedding. These are finitely generated C algebra, so they are associated variety. And to the inclusion is associated a morphism. Well, let's call this maximal spectrum of ZC to P, which is just the algebra associated with curly P is a variety associated with the algebra P. So this is the maximal spectrum of P. And this map is denoted by epsilon C. So what? In this geometric setting, what are the CM families? Before explaining this, I must say that C star acts on the Cherenkov algebra HC by, if I take psi, an element of C star, it acts by multiplication by psi, acts on Y on elements of V, no, inverse. It acts by multiplication by psi on elements of V star. And it acts trivially on the group algebra, and you can check that it fits with the relation that I have given. So this gives an action of C star on this algebra. This action stabilizes the center, of course, but it also stabilizes the subalgebra P and all the prime ideals that I have defined. It stabilizes everything I have defined here. Okay. So, what are the CM families? So these are the primitive idempotent of ZC bar. These are in bijection with primitive idempotent or maximal ideals. This is just by definition of the commutative algebra ZC bar, which is ZC modulo P bar ZC. This is a finite dimensional commutative algebra. This is just usual block theory. So this is in bijection with the maximal ideals of ZC containing P bar ZC. And now it becomes geometric because P bar is associated to the point 0, 0 here, and these maximal ideals are just the point in the fiber of epsilon C. So this is in bijection with epsilon C inverse of 0, 0. So this gives a geometric content to the notion of CM families. These are the inverse image under this map. But it's even better because if you look at the action of C star on this variety P, It has only fixed point. The only fixed point is 0, 0. It has with positive weight here, negative weight here, or the opposite, I never know. And so there is only one fixed point. And because this morphism is finite and flat, finite, this is a finitely generated module over this algebra. This becomes equal exactly to the C star fixed point in Z of C, in Z C. So now, that's why I wanted to mention that it is really geometric. I'm going to do the same kind of bijection with the CM constructibles. So they are parameterized by the irreducible representation of HC left. But in this case, with this is false for HC bar, but this is true for HC left, that this is Morita equivalent to the center, to ZC left, which is what you imagine. This is due to Etinghoff-Ginzburg. There is a Morita equivalence between this algebra and the center. And now the irreducible representation of these guys, these are the minimal minimal prime ideals of the algebra ZC over P left ZC. Okay, and these are exactly in bijection with the irreducible component irreducible components of the inverse image under epsilon c of the subvariety V over W close 0. But this variety, since you have, okay, so you have what? Negative weight here and positive weight here. Positive weights here. This is exactly the set of this is positive on functions. Okay, so it has positive weights here and negative weights here. So this is exactly the set of what I will call ZC hat, where ZC hat is a subvariety of attractive points in ZC. These are the points in ZC, such that the limit as psi goes to 0 of psi times Z exists. Okay? If you want to compute P hat, the attractive point here is pretty easy, since you have positive weights here and negative weights here. The point must be attractive only if there is a 0 component on the right side. Okay? And so the limit, and there is a function that I will denote by lim hat that goes from ZC hat to this limit, which exists. And this limit, it's pretty easy to see that it must be a fixed point. And this is the morphism of variety. This is because this is affine, because in a projective variety this is completely false, but in an affine variety, taking the limit is really a morphism of variety. At this stage, yes, what happens? Well, there is this fact here. I have said that all the irreducible components of a CM constructible characters lie in the same CM family. Here, the CM constructibles corresponds to irreducible components of this variety. And to understand what are the CM families, in which the irreducible component of a constructible lie, you must take an irreducible component and see how many C star fixed points there is in this irreducible component. This will parameterize all the families where it can leave. But since you have this map limit at which exists, you restrict to the irreducible component, so the image must be an irreducible component of this guy, so this must be a point. Okay? So this fact, okay, is explained by the fact that this map is a morphism of variety. Well, so that was just for explaining this little fact, but now I want to come back to the proof of E. E is there. So what happens if the family is a singleton? So now, assume that Z is a fixed point. Such that the associated family Fz is reduced to only one irreducible character. So I'm interested in families which are in some sense these are the nilpotent blocks in the group theory group. There is only one simple. No, that's not. There are non-nilpotent blocks with only one simple. No, oh, sorry. Okay, so the simplest in this theory are the simplest blocks. Okay. So how many constructible characters are there in this family? There could be several. There could be some multiple of chi, another multiple of chi, and so on. There could be several characters, several constructible characters associated with this family. But to parameterize the constructible characters associated with this family, again, by the same geometric argument, so the CM constructible, the associated CM constructibles are parameterized by the irreducible components of the inverse limit xz, which is the inverse under the limit of this point z. These are all the irreducible components of this variety, which goes through my point z. Okay? But now we can use a very important theorem by Etinghoff and Gisbourg, but also from Gordon. And it's, in fact, it's mainly due to Gordon. Well, the way, no, I will explain. So the fact that our family is reduced to only one element, this is equivalent to a geometric fact that Z is smooth. Z is a smooth point in ZC. That's a result due, so in this direction, this is Etinghoff and Gisbourg. Because in this case, there is a Morita equivalence with the center of the block. And the converse is a theorem of Gordon. Okay, and that's the converse we are interested in. So now we are looking at the inverse image under this limit map of a smooth point. But there is a well-known Bialynicki-Birula decomposition. So there is a theorem by Bialynicki-Birula. I hope I have put the Y at the right place. Implies that this limit, this inverse limit, so xz, is isomorphic to an affine space, simply. So in particular, it is irreducible. Okay. How many time do I have? 1 minute. Okay. There is only one irreducible, so there is only one constructible character, which is a multiple of chi. It must be a multiple of chi. But now I have used the left part. I have defined in some sense, left constructibles. I could use, instead of V over W cross 0, I could use 0 cross V star over W. And I will define right constructible characters, M right of chi. There will be only one because of the same, for the same reason. And at this stage, there is a computation of multiplicity of points using a theorem of Serre. Multiplicity of the point Z in the scheme ZC over P bar ZC, which leads, there is some inequality due to Serre that leads to the following equality, that M left time, well, I really abbreviate, is less than 1. Okay, this theorem by this multiplicity theorem by Serre gives you this, and also this implies that both guys must be equal to 1. So it means that the irreducible, the only constructible characters associated with a family which is a singleton must be irreducible. So that's all I wanted to say. Sorry.
And then you define the Calogero or Calogero, I don't know, Moder family and co-family. Because on one side, you forget the dual, and the other side, for the co, you will forget the V. Wait a minute. And then using the fact that, using the, I don't know, the causality of the co-invariant algebra, you would pass from a family to a co-family to a family to a co-family by taking the dual and multiplying by the determinant or the dual of determinant depending on your starting point.
That's true.
Okay.
It's already in Gordon's paper on these baby Verma modules.
The proposition.
The proposition
It's true, probably, but it's not stated.
No, it's not stated like this, but it's.
I would like everything to be true, to work.
Yes, of course, but it is.
Compact, no compact, whatever.
But well, it is. I mean.
Okay.
Yeah, just because you say that everything that you say is in the smooth case, yes. So you always take the parameters to be generic. So this cannot like.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
No. So you prove that only for like generic parameters, but yes. This could not be proved if you take like the B-type bad, the bad parameters that you will have no smoothness on the Calogero-Moser space.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
This applies like the same.
Well, you see that here there is really a starting point, which is, I mean, in the geometric proof, which is this. If you try to do Bialynicki-Burula decomposition with non-smooth point, I have asked many people, and the point is that in general they know. What? C is any parameter for which it is.
For which there is one smooth point. You need one smooth point. But C can be any parameter.
Yes, okay. No, yes. Even if C is not generic, there are smooth points. There are families which are reduced to singleton, and this applies. Yes. Sorry. Thanks.
Further questions? If not, thank you, Cédric.